Good morning. My name is Christina Felchlin, Support Manager at LedgeView. Welcome back for our February LedgeView Dynamic CRM for Oil and Gas User Group webinar. Our topic for today is reports. When to use a report versus using a view, advanced find, or dashboard. Then Michael has put together a table of what reports are best for each area or topic, demo of a report 220, and then we'll move into pros, cons, and limitations to using the report wizard. After a quick demo of the report wizard, we'll end with a few questions submitted by the users. Now for a couple housekeeping items. To ensure the best audio quality for all attendees, we have everyone on listen-only mode. If you have a question, please submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel. As always, today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All registered attendees will receive an email this afternoon with a link to the recording. Reminder, if you need to contact our support team, you can either call the support line at 920-560-6888 or email us at crmsupport@ledgeviewpartners.com. I kindly ask that you do not email the support consultants directly, as we want to make sure that we are getting to your question as quickly as possible. By submitting your question to our general queue, we can accomplish that. Now let's get to the content Michael has put together for reports. I'm pleased to bring back Michael Dodds, Support Consultant with LedgeView Partners.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing great on this wonderful Friday. Christina, thank you very much for that great introduction. Hopefully the weather is warming up for all of you around the country. It's warming up for us here in Wisconsin. But without further ado, let's jump into some reports. Many of you have contacted us in the modified by field. There is a new modified by field, and we renamed the old one modified by don't use or do not use. All system reports or system views have been modified to utilize the new field for modified by. Any personal views that you've set up will just need to have that column switched to the new field so you don't use that do not use field. If you have any issues with that or want any help, please contact LedgeView Partner Support for any assistance. All right, many questions from experienced users to brand new users is what are the different methods that I can use to pull data out of CRM? Well, to be honest, there's quite a few. But the question comes down to when do I use them and when should I not use them? Our first and foremost one, and we're going to be covering this in our next webinar, is advanced finds. When you really want to use advanced find is when you have a one-time data set. So you're looking at a specific point in time and you want to pull that data once for analysis or general information. That's when you want to use advanced find. When you don't want to use advanced find is when you're utilizing a view, which is essentially a saved advanced find. And it's when you want a dynamic data set. And what I mean by dynamic data set is simply you're looking at a point in time, 5 months in the future. And every time you run the report, run the advanced find or look at the view, it's going to look 5 months into the future. So that's a dynamic data set. If you want to look at that frequently, a view is your best bet. When a view really isn't going to be for you, it's when it's one-time data pull, like for advanced find, or it's a set data period. Set January 1st to February 1st of 2016. Advanced find is going to be your best bet. Now, dashboards. That's also another webinar that we'll be covering in the future. But you can view items graphically. You can set up charts. And those charts can be comparisons. You can compare a sales rep versus another sales rep's open opportunities or closed opportunities. It gives you that information in a graphic chart. You can combine like data sets. So if you're a user and the 3 different places that you stop at are your accounts, your activities, and your opportunities, and you're like, it would be really nice if I could just view that in one section. I have dashboards for you. That would be a perfect spot to just put it all on one dashboard and you can see all 3 right away. Combining unrelated items. So as a salesperson, if something you don't view a lot or really doesn't pertain to you, there's no purpose to be putting that in a dashboard. It can just be a view or an advanced find, something you don't view on a regular basis and is unrelated. Now reports, utilizing the report wizard, are a fantastic means of pulling data out of the system. You can pull them, a difference is you can pull this information in groupings, and what that means is you can group sales reps together. So you're looking for opportunities, you can group all that information into one and then sum up the revenue for that grouping and for all your sales reps at the very end of the report. You can also put charts together, basic charts, but charts that will show you the information in a graphic format, and then you can have the data table right underneath, or the table could be embedded within the chart. When you really don't want to use a report wizard is when it's a highly customized report or chart. So again, as I mentioned, the report wizard is more of those basic charts. Or if you're using unique logic that requires customization, and that means CRM, as you have all talked with me over, the past year here, is that the CRM can pull a certain amount of information. It goes outside of that logic. A custom report is going to be the right step. Now, these last 4 items that I touched on, those are all items that you can pull right within CRM. We are always here to help if you have any questions, but those are items that anyone can pull. The next item, custom reports, is a piece where you will want to come to LedgeView Partners support, and it would be in addition to the enhancement list or potentially a project. But when would you want to use a custom report? When would you want to add to the enhancement list? Well, if you have an upcoming company meeting and you really want to create a report it's appealing and you're going to be distributing it, you want to change the font, color, those kind of items, custom report's the way to go. If you have 2 calculated fields, meaning a CRM calculates those fields for you and you want to compare them, a custom report's going to be the item there. So comparing, one example would be comparing past year to past year, different items that you can't do within the report wizard, or there isn't a report already created. We're going to touch on filtering a little bit later in this webinar, but you cannot filter after a report is generated. You can only do it before within the report wizard. For a custom report, you can add that in to further dissect the data. Customized charts, as I said, with the report wizard, it's very basic. Columns not related to the data set. You can really only go one relationship deep to pull a column. You can't go 2 relationships deep, meaning opportunities, accounts to the opportunity to the activity. You can't pull that activity information. And related records with no data. During this Monday's release, there was a fantastic few reports that were put out by our great product management team. It's accounts with no active contacts and accounts with no open opportunities or open activities. Those are examples of related records with no data. So you're looking for a record that doesn't have data in the system. It's pulling a negative. That would be a custom report as well. Now, anytime a report wizard, an advanced find, or a dashboard will generate the information you need, those are the first steps you would want to take. And a common question I'm sure you all have come across or have either thought about or come to me with, what report should I use? Profit, volume, or revenue. Your 2 best reports are 100 and 100B. It's your account ranking. The only difference between them is the account 360 is pulling in the parent account and it rolls up all those child accounts into it. So you only are looking at the parent accounts. Report 110, account order history totals, is a great example. You can pull it by gross profit, volume, or revenue, but it's not ranking them. So you need to do the sorting outside of the report. Deep analysis of all orders. Report 220, the order analysis report, is a fantastic report. It's going to give you gross profit, volume, revenue, the product ID, so much information for just that singular order, and it will give you all the orders within a specific time frame, and you can even narrow that down to a specific salesperson. Reports 110, 120, and 130, as we touched on, the account order history total And then monthly sales numbers, only difference between 120 and 130 is that one's by owner, one's by salesperson. And that's just how you happen to set it up within CRM when it was originally set up for you. Great information, but not that deep dive. Account variance. If you want to look at the rolling 12 months, look at 12-month and you want to compare those, compare that rolling 12 months, that's going to be the best report, 150. 160 is going to do a year-to-date comparison. Sales number by owners. There are 4 great reports. 120 and 130 are those monthly sales numbers, and then 170 and 180 are overall sales by owner or by salesperson and by the product segment. Reports 340 and 350 are great secondary ones, but they're going to look more at goals and growth of your specific salesperson. New share of wallet. There's been a big focus on new share of wallet. You have an existing account, but you want to grow it and increase your share of the wallet. So report 190 is going to look at the new share of wallet for the product segment by account for product segment. And then 195 is going to look at it for the product segment, but also with the category. Product variance. We have 3 great reports on product variance, 200, 205, and 206. They look at a 13th month variance, a year-to-date product variance, and then a rolling 12-month variance. So it gives you 3 different options to pull that information. On opportunities, I really want to touch on report 302. That's a brand new report. It's fantastic. It's a new sales stage analysis. It's going to show you where your sales reps, or you as the sales rep, how long you're spending in each sales stage of the opportunity. Report 300 is opportunity pipeline, what you have coming down the pipe that can sell, that could close, 301, opportunity close rate. If you want by organization, department, sales rep. It's just a look into the future, and it's broken down by each type of, by each level. So your organization, by the department, by the specific sales rep, and then specifically for you. Total share of wallet and new account. Total share of wallet potential. Everybody wants to get that full share of the wallet. Well, what's our potential out there? What can we gain? That's what report 320 is going to give you. Report 330 is going to show your share of wallet and your new account goals, and it's going to compare them to the pipeline to see if you're actually going to be able to meet that goal. Salesperson growth and goals. Many sales managers, I've worked with you over the past, in the past, setting up your goals and making sure that they're in the system, and this is where you can see how your salespeople are doing to them. And individual sales reps can see, how am I doing compared to that goal that my manager set for me? That's report 340. Report 350 is really showing your growth. How are you doing? How have you grown over your time and over a specific amount of time? Existing business. And we like to focus on new share of wallet and new accounts, but we still have that existing business and we want to grow it. Report 360 is going to show that existing business growth with the product category, and 360B is showing the same information but without the product category. Accounts without, these are the 4 new and 530 and 530B are accounts without an open activity or opportunity. Couple of miscellaneous reports that are out there are account expenses. Again, it's only really if you're using the account expense section within CRM, that'll be a report you can pull. CRM usage, report 500, you'll be able to see how your users are actually utilizing CRM, if they're how many opportunities they've put together over a certain amount of time, accounts, etc. And with activities, how many activities they created over a certain set of time. So that's a lot of information that I've just thrown at you in the last 10 minutes here. I want to take a step back and we're going to go through a report. So I'm going to go into report 220, which is our order analysis report. And we're going to go at this from the look of a sales rep. We're going to look at all my active accounts in the specific department of fuel and orders that were placed between January 1st, 2015 and today. Without further ado, let's jump into CRM. So just for the navigation piece, we'll click on our main drop-down, go to Workplace, and then go to Reports. And we're going to jump into Report 220. So this is a report that already exists, but what we really want to pull in here is I want to get the information that's important to me. And by specifically being important to you, owner equals the current user. That's really the information that you want. Then we wanted to break it down by department. So we want to look at the department of fuel. So if we go down to order history filtering, go to department equals, we're just going to type in fuel. And we're looking for orders between a specific set of dates. So we go to order date, and we're going to go on or after 1/1/15. And then we can set the order date to be on or before today. You can also just leave this at on or after 1/1/15, since obviously there's no future days between after 1/1/15. After today, there aren't any existing days. But for the purposes of this, we'll show you how to set that date range. And today is 2/19/16. And then we will click on Run Report. And excuse me, actually, this is where you're going to set your date range. You're going to 1/1/15. And we're going to go to 2/19/16. So if we go to View Report, and with a little bit longer reports, sometimes they do take a little bit of time to pull. So, and with this sales data, unfortunately, there isn't any information in the system for me. But if we go to, we can adjust this to show the time range. Obviously, this is a little bit of different information within the system. So we want to make sure that with test data, sometimes the information won't appear. But with your scenario, just remember, this is how you can filter to get the information you actually want. So that's how you use filtering within the order analysis report, and really in any report out there. Next piece I want to step into is we're going to go into the report wizard. And there's some pros, cons, and some limitations to the report wizard. So I just want to touch on those before we go into a demonstration. The pros, you can group, you have groupability, meaning you can group them by sales rep. You can group by department or by account. It's a different way of showing the data. And then along with that, you can sum. If you're looking at opportunities, grouping by a sales rep, you can do a summation of your actual revenue. It's going to show you a total for that group, and then a grand total at the bottom for all sales reps. I have a complex scenario, but I'll show you how easy it is to create and to get the information you want. It's a more appealing format than Advanced Find. With an Advanced Find, it's really just a list, and you can only export to Excel. Within a report, it looks more polished and professional. And you also have exporting ability to a PDF, to Word, Excel. You can also add basic charts. And when you're in the report, you can jump right to that record right from your report wizard that you created. Some cons, limited customization. If you want to change the color, change the font. You're really limited to what the font set is for the report wizard. You can't change those. Complex requirements, as we talked about in a couple previous slides. When you have a complex requirements, if you're looking to compare calculated fields. Limited to basic logic. The basic logic of CRM is what you're limited to. If you have a report that you want to send to a customer and you want to add a hyperlink to your website, that would be a custom report. Some limitations: cannot add a lookup functionality to a report within the report wizard. So if you wanted to look up a contact from the report, that would be a custom range. Page numbers and accessing the current date and time, can't really pull those and put those into the report, but with a custom report you can. And we touched on this previously, filtering the reports after generation of the report. We just touched on filtering prior, so you get the information you're looking for, but you cannot currently do it after the report's been generated. So now we're going to jump into a demo, and I'm going to show you how to create a report wizard report. The scenario is you, as the sales rep, would like to analyze your open opportunities and sort by the estimated close date. We're going to group by department. We're going to add the following columns: the account name, opportunity topic, estimated close date, estimated revenue, and estimated units. And then we're going to create a chart by department. So let's jump into CRM and build this report. So from our report screen, we just click on New. We go to Report Wizard. And sometimes these will pop up. Don't worry, it's not going to cause any issues with utilizing the system. We'll start with Start a New Report. Click on Next. We're going to name our report, and it's going to be Open Opportunities. And we are specifically looking at just opportunities. So our primary record type will be opportunities. Click Next. And this, sometimes you're going to have pre-filtered items come up in the report filtering criteria. Just clear them away if you're not going to be utilizing them. So for opportunities, we're looking for where the owner is ourselves, so owner equals current user, and we want the status to be open. So just like we did in our previous filtering, and then we're going to click Next. And we say in our scenario that we're going to group by department. So if we go, our record type is opportunity, our column we're going to change to department. And then click OK. And then we'll click down here to add columns. We want to start out with the account name. So if we scroll to the top and click on account, click OK. Then we want to look at the opportunity topic, the estimated close date. And again, all of these, your main record type is going to stay opportunities. Then we're looking at revenue and units. So we're going to go to estimated revenue. And for estimated revenue, we want to have a summary within our report. So our summary type is going to be sum. And then click OK. And we're going to do the same thing for units. We want to look at our estimated units, and we want to have a summary type of sum for those as well. Now that we have all of our columns, one of our last pieces of information is that we wanted to sort it by estimated close date. So if we go to Configure Sorting, we're going to go Sort by Estimated Close Date, and we're going to go in descending order. So click OK. Then we're going to go to Next. And in this case, we want to build a chart. We're going to have a chart, and then we'll have our table right under it. This secondary option here is to show the chart, and then when you click into the chart, a specific bar of the chart or piece of the pie, it'll show you a table based on that information. So we'll click Next. In this case, we're going to do a pie chart. It's going to do the slices by our grouping, and then we want the data to be the sum of the estimated revenue. So then we'll click Next. It's going to just give us a report summary. So if we click next, it'll create the report, which takes a little bit of time depending on the size of your report you're creating. Click finish. And this will update, and we'll click run report so we can see what our data looks like. And again, dependent on the size of the data you're running, sometimes this can take a short amount of time or it can go very quickly. And as you can see here, here's our pie chart. For the most part, we're really looking at lubricants and clean burn here. So here is our pie chart. If we want to see the data, we just click next. And so we grouped it by department here. It's going to show our account names, our opportunity topic, and our close date. And you can see here it goes in descending order, 4-1 to 2-5. And then we have our estimated revenue and our estimated unit. It's going to total up for each grouping. And then at the very end, it's going to show the grand total of the estimated revenue I have out there. And we're looking at $326,000. So I'm doing pretty good in terms of estimated revenue and units. And it's just a great way to really dive into your information and analyze it. So then we'll just close out this report, close out our wizard, and then we'll go back to our PowerPoint. So that's our information on the reports, when to use reports, and specifically the report wizard. Now I'm going to jump into some questions from our users. Our first question is, how do I run a report that shows me all of either leads and or opportunities from a company that do not buy from us or are buying a brand of oil we do not sell? This kind of goes to our earlier topic of the pulling a negative, looking at a record and looking to pull some data that doesn't exist. So this report would be pulling leads or opportunities for accounts that don't have any order history. That would be a custom type report. And regarding the second part of the question, if the brand of oil is not located in CRM, a report would not be able to be pulled. And many of you may recognize this question from our previous oil and gas user group. I would like to understand how to use the reports more efficiently. I wanted to bring this back just to make sure everyone was on the same page of how to utilize this based on the information we just went over. So finding the right report, we created that table within here. You can always refer back to this webinar as it's going to be recorded to find that right report based on the information you're looking for. Understand the groupings. If you're grouping by sales rep or department versus department, the report's really going to show differently. Filtering the report. Report 220 we went over today, and filtering it and getting the information you really want. And for each person, that's going to be different. And if you can't find the right report, you can utilize Advanced Find or the report wizard that we just showed. And with Advanced Find, you can go a little bit deeper in terms of pulling the columns in than you can in the report wizard. And if after looking at the report wizard and Advanced Find, you still can't find what you need, submit a request to LedView Partner Support for the enhancement list or a quote for a project. We'll work with Steve Rybrock, and he'll be in contact to make sure he understands your needs, and they'll proceed from there.
Thank you, Michael, for the great information. I hope everybody was able to take a nugget or two away from the reports. Michael provided a lot of great content about the report wizard and the reports available in your oil and gas org. It was a quick 30 minutes, and it is sometimes hard to absorb all that information in that short period of time. So we do have an additional resource to help you find that great report. It is actually located in your oil and gas org. Steve Rybrock created that for us. It's located under Workplace, Documents, and it's called Document 90. It's right at the top there. This document will provide you with the report number, name of the report, a short description, and image of what the report looks like. It is a great reference when you're looking for the report but not sure which one to use. And then since we received a lot of interest in the list of available custom reports Michael reviewed, I will make sure that listing is sent along with the recorded webinar email that you'll receive this afternoon. Then we have some upcoming webinars. Our next CRM for Oil and Gas Sales Manager User Group webinar is Friday, March 11th. The topic will be reports utilized by sales managers. So we'll highlight some of those reports that sales managers would use to look at their teams. Then our next CRM for Oil and Gas General User Group meeting will be the following Friday, March 18th. Our topic will be advanced finds and views. So be sure to let anyone in your organization know about these upcoming webinars. And then at the end of today's webinar, there will be 2 questions. Please take a few seconds to answer those questions. Question 1 is on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the most and 1 being the least. How valuable have these user groups been for you? And then the question 2 is just a short answer, is what is your biggest CRM challenge? We appreciate you providing any of that feedback for us. On behalf of Michael and I, and all of us at LedgeView Partners, we'd like to thank you for spending time with us. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your weekend.